The votes are in. I've had my ZX81 on fast mode for a couple of weeks now, and I can now reveal the final results. It's time for the ultimate People's Choice ranking of Carry On films. Over the last couple of months, you've all been ranking like crazy. In fact, I don't know whether it's the spring air, but I've never seen this much ranking going on in one place. You've obviously thought hard about these films, doing the old would you rather with the ranking engine. And remember, this is your list. So let's see where we all ended up. We'll begin with the bottom 10, 30 to 21. At 30, it's the badly executed reboot Carry On Columbus. So many missteps in this misjudged movie. So sad the revival was left this way. Go watch Paint Dry. It's far more interesting than this. Your worst Carry On ever. At 29, it's Carry On Emmanuel. Isn't surprising really. It's more explicit, it's a bit like the Confession of films. AA rated by the BBFC. Not one of my favourites, and definitely not one of yours. At 28, you had Carry On England. Again, not surprising. I could have bet on this bottom 3. The series regulars were unable to do the film. It was originally a AA, then it was cut a bit to make it an A rating, but it was still withdrawn from cinemas quite quickly, a commercial failure. So much for the bottom 3. Interestingly, they were the last films to be made. But let's move on. Number 27. Now this was a surprise for me. You said number 27 was Carry On, Follow That Camel. I mean, I'm not a particular fan of this one myself. Phil Silvers is horrendously miscast. But ranked 27? What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments below. At 26, it's Carry On Regardless. Yes, it's an early film in the series, and you could say it's a bunch of sketches really, but the cast is great. It's not one of my favourites though, and it doesn't seem to be one of yours. Carry On Regardless. That's the bottom 5. Let's move on. You ranked at 25, Carry On Dick. The Highwayman romp, which often seems more of a vehicle for Sid James and Barbara Windsor. It's a bit of a later Carry On, and the lines are starting to show. It was the last appearance for many of the original Carry On cast. It's still a good one though. Another surprise for me at number 24, Carry On Jack. This one has a lot of charm for me, and I really thought it might be higher in your lists. But you have spoken. At 23, you had Carry On Up the Jungle. As you know, it's not one of my favourites, and it's not ranked very highly for you either. I don't know why. Before I rewatched this, I had fonder memories, but when I watched it, I went, not quite for me. At 22, it's Carry On Girls. Since making these videos and revisiting the Carry On films myself, I kind of started to enjoy this one a bit more. The cast fit the roles that are given and it all works okay. But it's still in the bottom 10. And topping off the bottom 10 at number 21, it's Carry On Teacher. A nice, gentle Carry On film and some great performances from still a young cast. Carry Ons were finding their way at this point, and it has charm. So, that's the bottom 10. Stay tuned for the middle 10 right after this break.
High Karate's Second Fragrance. New Eastern spice. Just one whiff drives women wild. Its sultry oriental aroma makes men irresistible. That's why there's a special leaflet on self-defense in every pack. High Karate and High Karate Eastern Spice. Be careful how you use it.
Right, we're into the top 20. Remember, this is your ranking. At number 20, it's Carry On Henry. This historical romp just scrapes in at number 20. It's fun, but it's not one of my favourites. It's really just this kind of back and forth between Sid and Barbara. Your number 19 was Carry On Behind. It's carry on camping with caravans and a bit of archaeology thrown in. I watched this one again recently and now I think I might rank it a little highly than I did in my previous videos. At number 18 you have Carry On Loving. A Carry On film that's a bit more saucy and bawdy than the rest. It's still fun though, with the regulars holding the film together. Peter Butterworth makes a great 1-minute cameo in this film. At 17, one of my favourites, it's Carry On Spying. A great spoof of the spy movie. A middling film for you, I probably would have this in my top 10, but you have spoken, it's number 17. The film that started it all is at number 16, it's Carry On Sergeant. It's a gentle and lovely film, it's worth a watch. At 15, it's Carry On Constable. The fourth film in the Carry On series, the first one for Sid James, and the first film to have a little bit of nudity in it. Moving on to 14, we have Carry On Again, Doctor. This was Jim Dale's last Carry On film, at least before the reboot, and it was Patsy Rowland's first Carry On film. At 13, it's Carry On Don't Lose Your Head. Swashbuckling adventures as the Black Fingernail rescues the French aristocracy from the guillotine. Also listen carefully to the action sequences in this film. You can hear where they've dubbed Sid's laugh in. I made a video about that somewhere. At 12, you had Carry On Cowboy. Now I can't agree with you on this one. This is one of my favourites and I would always have this in my top 10. Everyone seems to be enjoying themselves. Angela Douglas is wonderful in her first Carry On film. I don't think this deserves to be a 12, but you have spoken. Rounding off this section at number 11, it's Carry On Cruising. So popular with many of you, it just loses out on that 10th place. It's fun and first of the series to be made in colour. Joan Sims took ill just before filming and Dilys Lane was drafted in at 4 days' notice and makes her Carry On debut in this film. So that was the middle 10, the top 10 as ranked by you coming up after this.
Yeah, the trouble with these midnight snacks is you get crumbs all over the bed.
Fresh cream cakes. Naughty.
But ever so nice.
We're back with the top 10 as ranked by you. At number 10, you have Carry On Matron. The medical themed crime romp. It features most of the regular cast, it's okay. But to be honest, I was surprised that it made your top 10.
It's the best program on television.
Oh, I know.
At number 9, this was the first of the medical themed films of the series, it's Carry On Nurse. It was a hugely successful film in the UK and the US. It's great fun. It's a really nice and funny film.
This ward is the slackest in the hospital and the untidiest.
At number 8, it's Carry On Screaming.
There is something in those bushes.
It's my favourite of the Carry On films, but not yours it seemed. You had it at 8. I'll let that go. I'm not angry, I'm disappointed. The only other thing I'd say on this film is I really do wonder what it'd be like if Sid James did play the role of Detective Bung. At number 7, it's Carry On Cabby. Many people, including myself, are really fond of this film, and rightly so. It's a really good, enjoyable watch. At number 6, you have Carry On Doctor. Good choice. I always used to look forward to this one being on the telly, and when watching, I always looked forward to The Patient's Revenge. It's a classic, but it's just out of your top 5, which is where we're heading now.
I'm most terribly sorry.
Oh, well, that's quite all right. It was my fault.
At number 5 is Carry On at Your Convenience. Not such a popular carry-on film in its day, but it's regarded more fondly today, especially for that wonderful coach trip to the seaside. At 4, it's the sumptuous On Cleo. Just missing out on a top 3 spot, the Carry On franchise is at the top of its game at this one. So we're into the top 3. But first, if you're new to these videos, have you subscribed? Have you liked? Have you done the thing with the bell thing? Any of that really helps the channel. Let's get down to it. The top 3. At number 3 is The Holiday to Elsbells. It's Carry On Abroad.
I'm Vic Flange. That's my wife.
It's a film we've all tried once and definitely liked it. Good fun, classic moments, can't beat it. Number 3. Which just leaves the top 2. And remember, you ranked these films, don't blame me. Your number 2 is Carry On Up the Khyber. This one really did surprise me. As you'll probably know from my previous videos, I'm not a huge fan of Carry On Up the Khyber. I used to love it, but you know, tastes change. But in the comments on the video where I spoke about it, the views were very different. I would have thought that this would have been your number 1, but no. You put Carry On Up the Khyber at number 2.
Bring on the dancing girls. Get rid of this idiot. Fuck you. Off.
Which means at number 1, Carry On Camping.
Arms flinging from side to side. Begin.
The endearing favourite of the Carry On franchise. Is it the one that everyone thinks of when you mention Carry On films? Carry On Camping, is it particularly iconic? What do you think? It was your number 1 Carry On film. Carry On Camping. So, there you have it. That's your ranking. What do you think? Were the results as expected, or has there been some surprises? There certainly were a few surprises for me. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like the video, watch my other videos. Enjoy Carry On films. Enjoy everything. Hopefully see you soon in another video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.